Tonight, we are joined by Brigadier General Joselito Kakilala here on NewsLife to give us an insight on the Lumad controversy in Surigao del Sur. Sir, and welcome to NewsLife.
Cathy, good evening, and good evening to all televiewers.
Sir, our indigenous peoples here in the Philippines is a very integral part of the Philippine culture. What has been happening with our Lumad brothers in Mindanao?
Yeah, it's a quiet, the nuances and dynamics are very deep-rooted, considering that the Lumads right now have the ancestral domain. I mean, they have been provided such a domain according to the IPRA law. However, there are other sectors who wanted to take advantage, exploit them. And considering also that their areas really in deep areas, which especially for the New People's Army, it will provide them and base areas, and they're trying to recruit these Lumads into their folds. And in fact, based on our statistics, 3 out of 4 New People's Army armed regulars come from the Lumads. So here we have to address this issue because, for one, the IPRA, Indigenous Peoples Rights Act, provided to the Lumads that they will be empowered, and they will be empowered to take advantage of the resources in their ancestral domains, including the economic, social, cultural development also. These things have not yet been. This has been denied to them. In fact, in 1994. The NPA in Surigao del Sur had an agreement with the tribal leaders. They call it the Madelay Agreement, wherein the NPA allowed the Lumads to have the rights to negotiate directly with the mining companies, logging companies, plantations like that, wherein the money that they will get will go directly to the Lumads, and probably they will share it to the New People's Army. However, the scenario changed when the IPRA law came over in 1997, and the New People's Army felt at that time that the Lumads will no longer follow the revolutionary ends of the New People's Army. New People's Army. So they came up with a revised agreement. They call it the Mandalay Agreement in 2004, wherein that the Lumads will no longer have the rights to negotiate directly with the companies. And some of these Lumads, tribal leaders, resisted such policy of the New People's Army. And those who resisted were gradually terminated, killed, like that, and some were threatened. Since 2004, about 60 tribal leaders were killed by the New People's Army. So we have here a situation while those who were New People's Army became anti-NPA Lumads, while those who were threatened by the New People's Army and became submissive to the New People's Army, they became the NPA Lumad supporting.
And sir, speaking of the killings, recently it's been all over the news that there are several Lumads who were killed, and there are different speculations on who are behind the killing. What is the clue of the AFP, and what is the
it is true. One which is very apparent was the Alcadab incident in September 1 in Langa, Surigao del Sur. It was killed by a Magahat Lumad armed group, because this Magahat armed group had a rido with the NPA Lumads loyal to the New People's Army. So in that incident, the armed forces, our troops on the ground were charged that we were part of that, but actually no, we were not part of that, or because the AFP does not allow tolerate abuses from our ranks, and even to any armed group also, to conduct killings, harmless, and threaten harmless civilians like that.
Sir, in this year alone, how many Lumads have been reportedly killed?
I'm not so sure, but within 1988 to 2008, there were about 357 Lumads killed by the New People's Army. In 2004, in Gusan del Sur, Surigao del Sur side, specifically, since 2004, about 60 of them were killed. So, and although there are other also killed by other armed groups, also lawless armed groups. So these things, these are the things that we really wanted to address. Our role in the as a mandate of in the Constitution, we will protect the Filipino people. That includes the Lumads, and we are there not there for peacekeeping mission, not for anything else.
So earlier you mentioned that one of the issues being tackled is about the ancestral domain. Well, this is a very important. Are there other issues that might be a source of conflict for these different groups?
You know what? I don't understand the one who's Manila Bayan right now, because they wanted to junk the IPRA law, and the IPRA law would really provide social benefits to our Lumads, and they don't want to empower the Lumads because the ancestral domain covers about 5,000 hectares. It's very rich in minerals and forest products and everything like that. And if can only properly implemented, the economic side development, our Lumas will really, their quality of life will really improve. And right now, nation initiatives are undertaking such measure. It's going to be a holistic approach to see to provide social, cultural, and economic solutions to the Lumads plight right now.
Sir, there's also an issue about closure of schools. Is there truth to this? And how many people are being affected by this?
There are reports of the closures of schools run by Alcadeb, Salugpungan, and however, not Alcadeb, Salugpungan and Misfi. On the Salugpungan side, it was the tribal leaders of Talaingod who came up with the resolution for the closure of Salugpungan School. And also in Misfi, it's the barangay resolution. As well as there's now right now a signature that about 80% of the residents are wanted to make to close that school because the students there, the Lumads, are being radicalized. So when you radicalize the students, there's nothing wrong with teaching the students how to read, write.
But to change their
change to be radicalized,
mindset.
to hate the government, to conduct revolution, that's unfair already. You're trying to exploit the minds of the Lumads, especially that the opportunities are limited also. And also, similarly, these schools are not accredited by DEX, Department of Education. And the main problem is once students get out from those schools, they cannot really join the mainstream of the Department of Education, the accredited schools, because they have no report cards. It's a form of alternative learning system, but hardly it's not recognized because they don't have certificates. So,
Sir, the AFP is primarily in this scenario for peacekeeping purposes. Has it intensified because of the recent killings?
No, it's look, we have been addressing this problem, the armed group, because they have been the New People's Army have sought refuge in the sanctuary in deep areas among the ancestral domain of the Lumads. That's why we're there for peace and development efforts. We know that the NPAs are trying to influence the Lumads, but our role is really to look into their plights and what are the issues that they wanted to raise. And we try to facilitate peace development programs in these areas. However, the New People's Army and the other leftist militant groups charge us for militarization. But we are there for peace and development efforts. And it's moving forward. Most of the Lumas are highly appreciated what the AFP is doing down there. And in fact, the rallies right now is only 700 out of the 8 million Lumas in Mindanao. So there are only a few voices. I mean, these people are radicalized. And we know who are behind them. they are really severe critics of the government. Whether the government is doing good, have a good governance, they will always continually criticize the government for any other reason.
And sir, of course, this task is indeed very challenging. Are there other groups helping out the AFP and making sure that peace will be attained eventually within the community of our Lumad brothers?
Yeah, we have the whole of nation initiatives, different government agencies to provide services to the Lumads, not only the infrastructure side, but also providing health program, as well as call this livelihood. In fact, last August 24-25, about 42 rebels, the former rebels, returned to the folds of the law. And they were given initial financial benefits. And the government will also look into their welfare also, that at least they would have the opportunity to take advantage of their rights in the ancestral domain as provided by the IPRA law.
And finally, sir, what assurance can we give that things are being done to finally resolve the Lumad controversy in Mindanao?
Yeah, the point is that we're there for a whole nation initiative, and we're very serious about this. There'll be no let up in our program to ensure that the quality of life of our Lumads will be improved, and also there will be inclusive growth in their areas of responsibility also. And foremost of all, the NCIP is working on how to empower the Lumads on the financial side scheme, because there are a lot of resources, money coming in to the IPs. In fact, wanted to remove the forced taxation conducted by the NPA in Surigao del Sur, because every year they're collecting 300 to 400 million pesos every year. The NPAs are collecting. What if this money will go directly to the Lumads? It would really greatly improve the quality of life of our Lumads.
And on that note, thank you very much, sir, for your enlightenment. That was Brigadier General Joselito Kakilala, the Chief of Civil Relations Services of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tats. I hope